All right, Chad, you're good.
We good to go? Well, good morning, Red Carpet. Every day is a good day when it's a red carpet day. So that is my tagline and I'm sticking with it. So so happy to see so many people on this call today. I've spent all morning with Sherilyn. It's been a blast and I am very excited to introduce her to the group. Sherilyn is from Fort Collins. She was born at Poudre Valley Hospital and went to O'Dea, Bennett, Belvins, and Rocky Mountain High School. So she went to all of them, it sounds like. She's been married for 23 years. She has 2 kiddos. She has Danielle, which is her oldest. She's 15 and a half, so pray for her. She needs all the help she can get. And she's also a sophomore at Apex. She plays volleyball, piano, swims, and volunteers at the Humane Society in Longmont. So maybe don't pray that much because she sounds like a pretty good kid.
She's driving now, so please pray.
Her son is 14 years old and a freshman at Apex. He plays soccer, swims, and plays the piano. The whole family loves to go camping and doing projects around their home in their business, and they have 2 dogs and 3 beehives. So interesting stuff there. I asked Sherilyn how she got kind of started in this field, and she kind of gave me a cool answer, so I'm just going to quote her. She said, "I got started at a young age when I helped my mom teach Sunday school from 3 and 4-year-olds. Her mom, her siblings, and her great aunt were all teachers. I taught for 15 years at Trout Core Knowledge, and then we had our kids, and I wanted to be home with them. When we moved to Longmont, we needed a little extra money, so I started working as a tutor at Tutoring Club. We had been looking for a business that my husband and I could own, and we thought this meant that we were both passionate about." So I'm sorry, I'm screwing up the quote already. They wanted to find a business that they were both passionate about. Their daughter was also diagnosed with dyslexia, so we wanted to be able to be home with her more. So we bought the business in 2011 in Longmont. We wanted to give back to the community I grew up in, so I opened one up in Fort Collins in 2013. Then we opened one in Loveland in 2016. After being a part of the franchise for 9 years, we decided it was time to branch out on our own. And in 2018, we became Tutoring Excellence. We enjoy working with families to individualize programs that their children need to be successful in school. So she's had a lifetime of passion in this, guys. Some of her favorite hobbies is she loves to camp, play the piano, work around the house, either in the garden or on projects they choose. They don't like those unexpected house projects. Something that not a people know about Sherilyn, but should, is she enjoys taking care of their 3 beehives. She does that with her kids, and then their kiddos actually sell the honey. So if you need honey, you got a good hookup in Sherilyn. I asked Sherilyn kind of what a funny pet peeve that her family kind of gives her a hard time about. And she said, the toilet paper has to be on when it comes over the top. And I told Sherilyn, I'm going to tell Sherilyn, I'm going to tell all of you, that's not a pet peeve, that's a fact. That is how toilet paper is supposed to go. So with that said, please help me give Sherilyn a very, very warm red carpet welcome.
All right. Well, as Chad was saying, we, my husband and I do this together. So these are our businesses. We have had passion to, help kiddos as best as we can. The biggest thing that we do is we work with kids clear from pre-K, clear up through 12th grade in reading, writing, and math, and on any type of schoolwork that they need help with or anything that they're just struggling in. So basically, the kid will come in, we have parents call us and say, hey, we need help in this. And if it's a middle schooler or under, we do a diagnostic test with them to really kind of see where their gaps are, where their best interests are, and what we can say, yay, you've got that, or no, we got to work on this. So we go to those things. So we create an individualized plan for each student that's here. For example, if it's a first grader, we'll probably be working with them on phonics and being able to know those letter sounds and different things, figuring out what letter sounds they know, what they don't, and then work on from there. With a middle school kid, a lot of times they're missing some of their basic math things back to fractions, decimals, ratios, proportions, and percents, and so on. And we'll work with those specific skills that they're missing and then help them if they need help with some schoolwork. With our high school kids, we kind of tween it to whatever that student specifically needs. We have several high school students up here, and what we do with them is we're working on their schoolwork, either re-explaining something that the teacher has had to move on from and the kid's like, I still don't get it, and being able to really focus on those specific issues with them. We also work with SAT prep, ACT prep, and all of those sort of things. We work with kids on study skills and really just helping them succeed. What I love about our SAT, ACT program is it's not just for that specific test. It actually helps them in, how do I process things? How do I come up with this wonderful thing and go, oh, I do know how to do these kind of tests. Oh, I am good at this. And seeing those aha moments and going on from there. As Chad said, I taught for 15 years. I taught third grade. Wonderful grade. It was the worst grade that I ever had in school, but the best grade I ever taught. So get those hugs and everything from those kids. I miss my hugs from my students here at the centers. Every time I come, I have a 5-year-old down in Longmont that he'll come, Miss Sherilyn, and he'll come and hug me. It doesn't matter if I'm in a meeting or whatever, he comes and hugs me. And since COVID, he'll go, can I still hug you? And I'm like, yeah, you can still hug me. So, you know, we've got that camaraderie. I've had families with me. Sometimes they'll start with me in first, second grade, and sometimes I have those kids clear through high school because the parents are like, you know what, they just need that little extra support. Most of the time, students stay with us depending on what they need. We usually have them for at least a year, and usually after that year, they've got it, they can move on. My goal is always to have the kids be done with the center here and be able to take that role on themselves and be able to really go, I've got it, I can get this now. So we cheer, we do high fives like this with air. You know, it's a blast. We have a very good COVID thing right now where, you know, we take temperatures at the door. We wipe down the tables and everything every day and want to just, you know, excel those kiddos, you know, so they know they can do it. We've got kids that come in with heads hanging and just going, oh, I can't do this. I don't like this. And, you know, they'll leave standing up tall and going, oh, that wasn't so bad. So it's just wonderful. I love what we do. And it's even better than teaching. I loved when I taught, but I had 25 students and I couldn't individualize it per those kiddos. And so here we usually have a 3-to-1 ratio. Right now with COVID, it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So we are excited. If you know, Lindy just asked what's the best way y'all can help. I would love to get more students, get the word out that we are open. We do Zoom too. So if a parent doesn't feel comfortable sending their kid, we can do it virtually. We have all of our books and everything. My family, I love my family. We have 4 of us in our family, as Chad said, and we spent 2 weeks, 12-hour days, scanning all of our books in so we could flip from being in person to Zoom when COVID hit. And so we can now do it either way to really help out those kiddos. It's a joy to see the kids. Had a student, I'll just give you another example. We had a student in Longmont that came in. She was a 9th grader and she came in and met with her and her family and she kept telling me, Miss Sherilyn, I hate math. And I'm like, no, you don't hate math. You just don't understand math. And she goes, no, I hate math. And I said, okay. I said, give me a month and I bet you'll come in and you'll say you love math. She goes, nuh-uh. And so she came in 6 hours a week. So she was a atypical student. So she did 2 hours of math, 2 hours of reading, and 2 hours of writing. After a month, she came in to me and she said, Miss Sherilyn. I said, what? She goes, can I have now 6 hours of math? And I was like, I gotcha. So, but her biggest thing is one of her high school teachers, she goes, I don't know how to multiply decimals. And I'm like, well, you know how to multiply? She goes, well, yeah. I said, well, take your 3 digits, time your 3 digits. Don't worry about the decimals. Just multiply it out. She did. And she goes, now what I do? I said, count over how many decimals. She goes, well, I asked my math teacher to help me and they said that she should know how to do that and that they wouldn't help her. And I was like, no. So, you know, we've got some kiddos that need that extra help, and a lot of times it's not that the teachers don't want to help them, it's that they don't have the time to do and they need to keep moving with the class. So I've been there, done that. So I love, you know, the teachers that work with the kids and help them out. And we love to partner with those teachers and really say, you know what, we're here to help you and assist you and provide the best for those kiddos. So we send out emails to the teachers that of the kids that we work with and really want to go with that. Okay, I think that's all I have to say. So
we're gonna do a tour, aren't
oh
we?
yeah, we got to do a tour first. So I'm gonna. Do you want me to take?
No, I got it.
Oh,
I got
goody!
it.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
let Chad take the
It's
computer.
everybody's favorite motion sickness time. So hang on. So we're gonna go to the front of the facility so you guys can get the full tour. And then what we'll do is then we'll kind of anchor back down to where we were sitting, and then we'll open up to Q&A. Okay. So Cheryl, why don't you take it away? I'll hold this for you.
All right. So the first thing that you do is you walk into our building, and we're gonna go outside so you can see the cool windows, because it's pretty cool. So here's our center. There's our windows, and when you first walk in, you'll see this wonderful sign, our temperature check station. So when a student first comes in, they usually stop here at the door, and one of us will come out and take their temperature. Every once in a while, they do have to come in, and we take their temperature from there. So you come in, we've got our little stickers on the floor so that kids know how far to stand apart. And you come in and we take the temperatures right here and we write everything down. And then if you don't have a face mask, you grab a face mask and put it on. And then this is our center. So we've got 6 tables in the center. We can have each table full of 2 students with a tutor. So, and then we've got all of our books up on the walls. That the binders are in the back of all the students that we have. Some of them are already pulled. So, and then this is kind of our open space. We have, the only other thing that we have is our office, and pretty much that's our beautiful little center.
So you're I'll hold this up high so you guys can kind of see. So it's you can see the tables. So it's like it was three students to a tutor. That's now been spaced out. So now it's just 2 students per tutor. They got it all separated out, and it is just cute as a button in here, gang. My goodness.
We love it.
So let's do this. Hang on, let's set this back up, and then we can jump into Q&A.
Okay, perfect. All right. All right, let me, all righty.
So Cheryl, it looks like we have a couple questions from Lindy.
Yes.
How do your programs work? Are they tutoring plans, or how does that work?
So we individualize them to each student that comes in. So it really depends on what they come in with. So as I said, with our middle schoolers and elementaries, we have them do that diagnostic test to kind of see where their gaps are, where their skills are, and then we create that plan based upon that. So if a child is struggling in reading, we kind of see what grade level they can read to at a consistent level with comprehension and vocabulary. And then with all the books that we have on the wall, it specifically specifies out whether they need to learn how to draw conclusions, whether they need to locate the answers and things, detecting the sequence, and it does skill specifics. We also have another pamphlet that we use that does one kind of story. It's short, it's not real long, but then it has questions that deal with each one of those types of drawing conclusions, identifying inferences, getting the main idea all in one story. And then those other books individualize it out. And then with reading with writing and math, we have the same sort of thing, but there's pre-tests in front of those that really show what that is in that subject. So like with our vocabulary one, we have what's called vocabulary works, and it has different questions that we use within it. Let me see if I can find the right one. So we use this part here where they're matching the words within, you know, what word it is with what definition it is. So that would be like an example of what a child would do within that one. We also have tokens that we use for the kids to kind of encourage them, and they can go to our little store and buy things. Like we have Starbucks cards, Cold Stone cards, since we're right next to Cold Stone, and iTunes cards. We have Google Play cards, and you know, mostly what the kids like is we get them and they can buy them then. with their tokens that they earn.
And another question. So you help kindergarten through 12th grade, is that right? Or what is
Actually, pre-K clear through 12.
pre-K?
So we do
Okay.
4-year-olds. The 4-year-olds are kicked in the pants because they're really wiggly and I love it. So my tutors, the tutors are like, well, they can stand at the table, can't they? I'm like, yep, they can stand at the table. They can wiggle then, and it's okay. So there's some coloring pages that we do with some of those kiddos to really make sure that they're forming the letters right and understanding that the C makes a k sound, and you know which one of those pictures has that k sound at the beginning, and then we talk about that the k sound can also go at the end, and really working with them.
Okay.
So we also work, as Chad said, my daughter is dyslexic, so we have a program called Barton that is a one-on-one program that we do that helps those dyslexic kids. What a dyslexic is missing is the phonemic awareness, which is a big word that they don't know how to hear the different sounds. So if you think about a reader that reads really well has 3 parts of their brain that works. On a dyslexic, there's only 2 parts out of those 3 that's working. And so they're missing that phonemic awareness. So what Barton does is it helps them learn those sounds and then learns the rules of the spelling and everything, and able then to put all that in place within that. So it really, it's an incredible system, and our daughter has done wonderful in it, but she's a very severe dyslexic, so she still struggles. But some of our other kids that are more mild dyslexic, like myself, that program, it excels them so fast, and they get so excited and confident and go, yes, you know, that they are just excited to be able to read. So it's exciting to see that. And we are always hiring. So if you know of someone that has a passion to teach math or reading and writing, have them send us an email and stuff to help with that. And our email, I'll put it in the chat box, but you can, if they're interested in any one of the centers, you know, whether it's for Collins, Loveland, or Longmont, we are always looking for help with that, with helping those passionate teachers that can really get excited with the kiddos, that, you know, because that's what they need. They need someone that has that passion to do that.
Nice. It looks like Lori has a question about adults with dyslexia. Do you work with adults?
We can. We try to keep up through 12th grade, but with the dyslexic program, we just have to find a time that, you know, would work best for them, and we can do that via Zoom. So I'd be willing to do that, because it's amazing how quick it helps. I know my husband, he wanted to see how Barton worked, and he's not as severe as our daughter, but both he and I are dyslexic too. So he's like, I'm taking this on. I want to see if it works. So he took the whole summer in between her 2nd and 3rd grade year and did 8 hours a week with our daughter in Barton, did 2 hours each day. And he would call me on the phone, because part of what Barton does is it uses nonsense words. For example, it may use the word fad, and they have to sound out that it's ad, and then be able to write it. You know, so they've got to hear that. But he called me, he says, honey, I can't pronounce this. He goes, here's the letters, how do you do this? But our daughter went up a full grade in reading just by that summer. And by the next year, she had gone up 2 grade levels. So it works, and it works pretty quick. So.
That's awesome.
Oh,
there you go. Where are you located? I don't know if everyone knows where Cold Stone is, but
we're off of East Harmony, right next to the Cold Stone Creamery and the Matador. So right next to the railroad tracks before you get to Timberline. And so we're kind of in between LeMay and Timberline on Harmony.
does anybody else have any questions for Sherilyn? I think I got all of them in the chat, but if you just want to shout it out. Oh, Lindy's asking, where are you located in Loveland and Longmont?
Yeah, Loveland, we're off of East 29th. So if you know where the King Soopers is on 287 going down from here, we're just right after that, over to the east side of the road. We're right next to a Trans Martial Arts. There's a Subway in our location and everything. And then in Longmont, we're right off of 119 in Nelson.
Okay, very good. Anybody else have questions? No?
All right. Last call, gang. No questions?
Oh, we need an email address. Sherilyn, can you put your email address in the chat?
Oh, yep, we're doing that right now. And then
Awesome.
let us set up this computer. So let us kind of, there's only 2 of us here. So we're going to set up this computer to do a selfie of the ribbon cutting. So bear with us.
Okay.
When we do that, guys.
Do you want me to put it up there then?
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay. See if we can do it. Okay. Set it up.
All right, hang on. I
Okay.
think we're good. Oh, it might have to be.
Do you want me up farther?
No, I think it needs to be more like that.
More like that?
Yeah, so here, take the green book. All right, guys, thanks for letting us try to figure this out. All right. All right, so give those to you. And then
Okay.
anybody. So what we're gonna do, guys, is on 3, we're gonna go straight A's. So 1, 2, 3. Straight A's!
Straight A's! Straight A's!
Well, thank you guys. And if you know of anybody, please let us know. Oh, what subjects do you mostly need help with? Usually math. Math and sciences are usually, our tutors usually ebb and flow because they usually get other jobs in their fields and they move on quickly from me because it's just a part-time job.
Okay, very nice. All right, anybody else have questions for Sherilyn? No, well, thank you so much for doing this, Sherilyn. We greatly appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you all for coming.
All right, I'm gonna stop the recording.